I would like to emphasize on couple of important sectors where India has made the most advance and the people of Kenya can benefit from it. On the top of the list are healthcare and pharmaceuticals. India is a global front runner in the field of generic medicines on a scale commanding a 20% share in global supply by volume. During the COVID pandemic, India truly established that it was the pharmacy of the world, and it did so by supplying almost 100 countries with vaccines and 150 countries, including from the developed world, with increased supply of relevant medicines. The fact is that COVID has made us all much more health conscious but also aware of supply chain risks. Price is also a relevant factor. If we are looking at more sources, I would suggest to our Kenyan friends that the Indian industries is your natural partner.
Kenya is a member of COMESA, Common Markets for Eastern and Southern Africa, which then presents 21 countries, 500 million people, 768 billion USD as GDP. We also have a tripartite agreement that presents a free trade area of 26 countries, 750 million people. And you can see also Kenya is a signatory of Africa Continental Free Trade Area, covering 54 countries in Africa, 1.3 billion people, and 3.7 trillion US dollars in terms of GDP. We have a stable economy, we have political and microeconomic stability, we are globally competitive, we have access to many raw materials, and being a gateway to Africa, it's also access to many materials and various chemicals like cobalt, manganese, nickels that are found in other African countries. We also have a young, trainable, and productive workforce. Kenya boasts a youthful, trainable workforce, and investors in Kenya will enjoy a very good labor pool that has excellent proficiency in English and one of the highest literacy rates in Africa. In terms of logistics, Kenya is a logistics and innovative regional hub. There is pivotal communication abilities, facilitating global connectivity. We have two prominent seaports, the largest in Africa, that is Mombasa, and also the deepest in Africa, which is Lamu. And then Kenya has positioned itself as Africa's Silicon Savannah, with noteworthy homegrown innovations such as M-Pesa, which operates across 7 countries with a customer base of more than 50 million people. And M-Pesa has trading of about 240 billion US dollars per annum. Also, Kenya has over 30 tech hubs and incubators to pioneer new technical solutions. Kenya has a target to reduce greenhouse gases by over 30% by the year 2030, and the country holds the distinction of being the first market of a mobile retail bond. And just the other day, His Excellency the President unveiled and launched the Africa Green Industrialization Initiative. In terms of incentives, Kenya is safe for investments. We have a secure environment for investments. We have a Foreign Investment Protection Act, a very robust and mature judicial system. As a country, there is also 100 repatriation of profits or interest in the special economic zones. There is land available for plug and play in the industrial facilities with special rates for EPZs and ECZs, including a special tariff for electricity. There are also dedicated tax credits and duty exemptions, and even special operating framework agreements. And so those are the value propositions. But going on, Kenya has a robust economic model with various pillars, and we do know that the art of building is creating a masterpiece, and that's why our economic model is presented in a tempo that shows a very strong foundation with enablers in cooperatives, digital transformation, climate action, governance, among other ingredients for the foundation. And then the pillars, we have agriculture, MSMEs, affordable housing, digital and creative economy, and health.
Kenya has a solid program running with our IMF and the World Bank. That is critical, and it's important that we put it on record. Kenya is the region's financial hub. Within the East African community alone, Kenya's financial institutions have a network of 552 branches. And we are happy today that the President has skillfully added another institution to this infrastructure. The India Exim Bank in the region now has a new home in Nairobi, courtesy of the President and his conversation with Prime Minister Modi. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes or in a few seconds, I want to invite to the podium the person who has determined to drive a hard bargain for Kenya as a nation, a hard bargain for Africa as a continent, a hard bargain for business because he's friendly to business, a leader who in a space of 1 year, a space of just 1 year, has managed to attract "25 heads of state and government to Kenya within a period of just less than 12 months. 25 heads of state and government. Over and above that, he has been able to host the African Climate Summit and unified the African voice on matters climate change.
The World Economic Forum has rated Kenya human capital as the best in the world. So if you are looking for people to work in your business or enterprise or investment, and you need engineers or bankers or investment people or whatever you need, you will find them in Kenya. We've just concluded today, again, a bilateral relationship on how we can collaborate more on matters sharpening our human capital. We just signed an MOU between the Indira Gandhi National Open University and the Open University of Kenya to share courses, to share capacities so that we can train our people more, added on to the human capital we already have. Let me also tell you that we have very clear investment opportunities. I did share with Prime Minister Modi today that we import from Kenya, we import 70% of our pharmaceutical commodities from India. That is the smaller part of the opportunity. The bigger part of the opportunity is because you're looking at a market of 50 million people. For those of you who are manufacturing out of India for the Kenyan market, I have some good news for you. And the good news is that manufacturing from India for the Kenyan market, you're looking at a market of 50 million. But if you came to manufacture from Kenya, you will not only get the 50 million Kenyan market, but you will get the 1.4 billion market for Africa. Because Mr. Bedi here will tell you, Kenya is the country that exports the most to America using the Africa Growth and Opportunities Act, AGOA, which, by the way, we have successfully negotiated and we are waiting for its renewal. We have been having a very big conversation about energy. The reason why we are having a conversation about climate change, and climate change is real. It is damaging countries. We walked out of a drought straight into floods. So climate change is real. And we got ourselves into trouble because of energy. And we are going to get ourselves out of trouble using energy. So 92% of Kenya's grid is renewable energy. If you're looking to manufacture green, your destination of choice is obvious. We are among the 3 countries that have beyond 90% renewable energy. And our intention is to make it 100% green in the next 7 years, by 2030. You're also aware that because of the energy challenges that our continent has, 600 million Africans don't have access to electricity. And I want to offer you an opportunity to make money. Solar energy is going to be the next big thing, globally and more specifically in Africa. Those 600 million people who have no access to energy, most of their energy will come from solar panels and solar batteries, wind batteries, and many other batteries. The Africa Green Industrialization Initiative we launched at COP28 provides you with an opportunity for manufacturing solar panels, solar batteries, and other lithium and other batteries from Kenya. for the 600 million people who have no electricity, and for the wider global market. We also have a big opportunity in e-mobility. I was having a conversation with TVS. I'm sure there are some sitting somewhere in this room. And I was explaining to them that in Kenya alone, we have 2 million motorbikes, commonly known as boda boda. Our intention is to replace all the 2 million with e-bikes. And of course, the whole transport industry, from buses to motor vehicles to three-wheelers and the rest of it. There is opportunity for manufacture, and we are committed ourselves to e-mobility. We are changing policy, and we have set timelines on when we must transit to e-mobility. Kenya and India are similar in many ways and different in many ways. Similar in the fact that we all speak English. I don't know who speaks better English than the other, but we all speak English. We all have the same legal system. The legal system that you have in this country is the legal system we have in Kenya. And we also share a political culture. When I was speaking with Prime Minister earlier, I congratulated him because I saw his party won many seats in the elections that were reported yesterday. So elections is part of our culture. Democracy is part of our culture. And we are very proud to share democracy with India. India being the single largest democracy in the world. And we celebrate that feat together. Of course, we are also different. And let me just say we are different in a few aspects. Number one is that we are different in the size of opportunity. We have bigger opportunities in Kenya than we do in India. We also have fewer competitors in Kenya in matters business than you do in India. And we have a higher return in Kenya than we do in India. So, because I'm speaking to business people, I know how much sense that makes to you. Big opportunity, few competitors, higher returns. I don't think you need me to say more.